How do I increase my visibility without looking like I am self promoting? This is the topic of today's live session. So, welcome everyone. Hello, everyone. And those of you who are actually watching the replays or the recordings of my previous episodes, welcome back to this live session. So, the topic of how do I increase my visibility without coming across as self promoting. Many people, many folks, they don't like self promotion. That's okay, but let us understand it's not self promotion. It's about highlighting your contribution. So let me put the question a little differently, but it will mean the same. How do I highlight my impact without appearing boastful? So let me ask you this. Why do some people get noticed quickly while others work incredibly hard for years together and remain invisible? And no, it's not always because the loudest person in the room is doing better. Sometimes the quieter and more capable professionals simply they don't know how to create visibility without feeling uncomfortable. Now the visibility can be inside the organization, it can be outside the organization, and it can be a combination of both inside and outside the organization. Visibility can be anywhere where it makes sense. Because the moment people hear the word visibility, many immediately think, I don't want to sound attention seeking. I don't want people to think I'm showing off. My work should speak for itself. But here's the reality. In today's workplace, invisible work rarely creates visible opportunities. And this creates a very interesting career problem. You can be highly capable, you can be consistent and dependable, and still get overlooked for larger opportunities. Not because you lack value, but because your value is not being seen strategically. And by the way, today is episode 45 of my 365 live sessions journey on career growth strategies. Every single day, we are unpacking real workplace challenges that professionals experience but rarely discuss openly. If you are watching the recordings, send in your views and comments. Now, let's get into the topic. Visibility is not about self promotion, it is about your contribution visibility. There is a difference. So, the first shift that has to happen is this: stop trying to look impressive. Many professionals think visibility means speaking more, posting more, talking about achievements constantly. That often feels forced. Real visibility comes from adding value consistently. People remember professionals who improve conversations, not just occupy them. The second shift: use the meeting visibility formula. Here's something practical you can use immediately. Before an important meeting, prepare these three things. One strategic contribution you will make, bring one idea that improves the direction, process, efficiency, customer experience, or business thinking. So, one strategic contribution, not operational updates, but strategic thinking. One insight, share an observation, others may have missed out. For example, a pattern, a customer behavior, a business risk, and a market shift. Insights increase perceived maturity. The third important thing I would want you to do is ask one meaningful question, not any random questions, thoughtful questions, questions that make people think deeper. Because smart questions create executive presence, voice presence. Now, here's what I have personally observed. Let me share that. Many professionals are not invisible because they lack talent. They are invisible because they have been taught keep your head down, just work hard, someone will notice eventually. Sometimes they do, but many times they don't. And that creates frustration after years of effort. Third important shift is visibility should feel neutral and natural. Visibility should feel neutral and natural. You don't need to become loud. You don't need to become someone else. You need to be you. You simply need to become more intentional about where you contribute, how you communicate, and what people associate you with professionally. That's strategic visibility. So here's the mind shift I want to leave you with today. Visibility is not about proving your importance, it's about making your contribution easier to be seen, heard, remembered, easier to recognize. That's a completely different energy altogether. If this conversation resonates with you, comment visible below because visibility is often the missing bridge between capability and opportunity. So before we close, please remember this, block just 10 minutes of your time every day for your own career growth, not just task completion, growth, reflections, and positioning. Because careers don't grow only through hard work anymore. They grow through visible value. And join me again tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. IST for another live session where we will break down another real career growth challenge professionals like you are facing today. One conversation a day, one shift at a time. Till then, don't wait to be discovered. Learn to position your value with clarity. See you tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. IST.